Out of all the special artifact sets you can obtain from the Doom Tower, normal or hard bosses, I currently have Fatal set at 156, which is the most items I have from all the artifacts right now. Why? Because I've been farming the wrong Doom Tower boss all this while. I'll tell you why. It might be because I'm lazy enough to not farm difficult bosses to give me better items, or because I just want to get those missions done and just head over to other parts of the game. In this video, I want to take time to actually read out this artifact set to find out which ones are the best that you should be spending your time on in the Doom Tower, that is, especially those Doom Tower keys, 10 or 15 that you spend per day. So in the past, I used to head over to Guardian set at the best, but I found out quickly that that set required fewer champions that needed it. It didn't have a lot of champions in the game that needed Guardian set, especially for tanks who need to suck up damage and all that. So I quickly switched my mind out of that one, and right now I don't have a favorite one. So I'll head over here and find out which of these sets are the best. I'll recommend you guys to leave your best Doom Tower set below in the comments. All right, we are going to skip out of the first four because you know the first four are not for Doom Tower. Swift parry, deflection, resilience, and perception sets are all from the faction wars. So yes, I do have a lot of that from the faction wars because I spend all my faction war keys. By the way, this is my main account. This is not the Noob to Pro. So this advice will also apply to those newer players. Maybe you learn something from this video, because despite how long I've been playing, I still went to farm the wrong artifact sets that I don't need at all. So we skip through the first four, and the next one we have here is Affinity Breaker. How useful is really this set? It says crit damage 30% and 20% chance to change weak hit into critical hit. So the crit damage 30% is awesome for a 4-piece set. You expect it to do something else, but the additional thing that is added is a 20% chance to change a weak hit into critical hits. It's a very few chance that you come across enemies in the game that you have weak hits against. So this 20% chance to change weak hits is even a very low chance. So this set is good at the 30% critical damage, but the 20% chance of weak hits to critical hit doesn't make it any better. So that's why that part of the set is just, it should be a 2-piece set maybe. That's what I'm saying. It would be better as a 2-piece set, because this 20% is not something I want to put on a 4-piece set champion. So I'll be rating it from 1 to 5. So right now this one is looking at a scale of maybe at 5 or 6. It's not currently at the top priority right now. So a scale of 5 or 6 in terms of whether you should farm it or not. The next one I'll go for is Immunity set. Untouchable, that's what it's called, but we all know it's for immunity set, and it's added an extra resist plus 40. So it's a 2-turn immune, but resist for 40 extra resist that is added to the champion. This is a 4-piece set also. Immunity set that we have in the game is also a 4-piece set, so you are losing nothing really. This just gives you an extra 40 resistance, which is better, so your immunity is not stripped easily from you. So this set is for arena champions. That's the only place that I see it being used, immunity. That's the only place we see it the most, arena. And end game arena, not even silver or gold 1 or 2. We are talking about platinum arena or gold 5. That's where you build champions with immunity sets, and you know, make them unable to be stripped, and they can take a turn after all your other champions are debuffed or whatever, or nuked. So we see this set. I know a lot of sets have overtaken this one. It's no longer that popular, but immunity set used to be so common in the arena. I don't see it around anymore. So this set, I'll put it on a scale of 7 out of 10 in the terms of whether you should farm it or not. The extra resist by 40 gives it a special touch. So the next set that I talked about is Fatal, the one I've been farming by error, thinking it's good for me because I thought it's easier to beat the dragon. I think it's the Eternal Dragon that drops this artifact set. We'll check out where we'll get it from. Oh, it's not even the Eternal Dragon. Magma is the Magma Dragon that drops it. So I feel like that dragon is easier to beat. I spend my 10 keys on it and I'm done with it. That's why I decided to farm this set daily. That's why I have a lot of it. So it's not the best. Because why? There are few champions in the game that you use attack percentage or you build attack in a very high stat for. Despite it being a 2-piece set, at attack 15%, that is a 4-piece set will give you a 30% attack and a 10% crit rate. If you make it a 6-piece set, that means 45% attack and 15% crit rate. So it's still not a set that I want to have on my damage dealing champions. Remember, in the game, whether you're a beginner or a mid-game or end-game player, you try to get savage set and cruise set on your damage dealing champions. You want them to ignore the enemy's defense. You don't really build up attack this much. The only champions we put high attack on are bomb champions who place bombs and do damage based on the amount of attack they have on their stats. So that's where this is useful, and we know how much attack we sell in the game. If it's attack percentage chest, we sell it. Attack percentage gauntlet, we sell it. Attack percentage boots, we sell it. So why would I be going for a set that has this many attack? So probably there is be a special place you can use it. So on that, because of that, I'll be putting on a scale of 3 or 4. That's where I'll currently rank this one out of 10. 3 or 4, that's where I'll rank this one. It's not entirely useless, it's kind of useful, but has a special case use, especially for champions who want high attack on. That's when you use this. I don't want to suffer for crit. All right, the next one I have on my list is Frostbite. Now this is a set that I've never really farmed, that I don't really have a lot of on my inventory either. I like to have one set at least, one complete 4-piece set. Is it a 2-piece set? Yeah, it's a 2-piece set, but I want like 4 of them that I can use on a special occasion. This set is special, but it's entirely useless in the game because freeze as a debuff in Raid Shadow Legends is frowned upon because it reduces the amount of damage you can do to the enemies. So let's read out. It has a 15% chance to block freeze debuffs. 15% chance to block freeze debuffs is a very low chance. That means that torment will still freeze you. That ninja will still freeze you. 85% chance to freeze you. It's a very high chance that you'll still be frozen. So, but if you put it 15, 15, 15, that means you have what, 45% chance of not being frozen. That's a little bit, 50% chance, I guess, of not being frozen. So it has a chance to block the freeze debuff. It's better to just bring a champion who can place block debuff buff than to have this in the game. So that's what I think about it. It also has a 10% chance of placing freeze debuff on the attacker. So again, if you have 3 of the set, it will have a 30% chance of placing freeze on the attacker. I see this being used on a special champion that already has freeze mechanics built into him, I guess. But I don't see me using it at all in any instance. It might be a very, very special use case. All these artifacts that I'm talking about, when they do have good substats, we can use it at offsets. So all my stats right now, all my review right now is based on when we're using it as a complete set, either as a 2-piece set or as a 4-piece set. So I'll rank this Frostbite, that's the name, on a scale of 2. That's where I'll rank it because of how special use case it is. It's not something you use commonly or something you find on champions on a normal day. So there are better artifacts in the game to put on your champions than a Frostbite set, even if you have 50% chance of freezing. I guess freeze as a whole is not something I want on my enemies when I want to do damage to them. All right, and remember, freeze can easily be countered also. If you freeze somebody, you have a chance of they'll have what's her name now, Dark Elhain, right, who can nuke you just for freezing anybody in the team. So freeze can be your downfall in the arena sometimes, especially when some players see a freeze comp, they know what to bring against it. All right, the next one is Bloodthirst. It has a 12% chance to crit and heals by 30% of the damage dealt. This sounds like lifesteal. So a lot of people are saying this is a better version of the lifesteal set, because the lifesteal set, yes, does heal you by 30% of the damage dealt, I think. Yes, and it doesn't have a crit rate. So this is a huge upgrade to the lifesteal set. The lifesteal set is a beginner artifact For end game, we usually use leech or other ways to counter it, or by then you have unkillable teams and you no longer need lifesteal. So this set kind of falls off when you reach mid game to end game. When you no longer need lifesteal, this set is also useless for you. But for a beginner player, if you're currently farming Doom Tower normal, this might be a good set for you to maybe, help you better your lifesteal set that you currently have, or you can't even get good lifesteal from Dragon. This might be an alternative way for you to get a better lifesteal set that has a 12% crit rate right there added to it. So if you can get a 4-piece set from this one, use it on your damage dealing champion who have War Master or Giant Slayer on them, and they'll be able to survive from the amount of damage they are doing and heal back also. You require less crit rate. That's what is good about it. So will this be a set that I'll be farming? It drops from which boss? The boss is not in this rotation. It's from the Dragon. This is not a set that I'll be farming because I no longer need lifesteal on my clan boss champions or from Doom Tower champions. I don't need lifesteal, so this is not a set I'll be farming, but I'll still place it on a scale of 5 because it's still better, a good huge upgrade to the lifesteal that we'll use a lot in the game. So I still have a lot of lifesteal in my normal artifacts, so there's no reason why I wouldn't want to have one set of this in case I need it sometimes, in a special case when I need a champion to heal from the damage he's dealing. But these days we have regen sets for that and all. There are a lot of sets we use on champions who want to heal themselves. We don't usually go for lifesteal anymore, for end game at least. All right, the next one, Guardian set. The wearer absorbs 10% of all damage dealt to all allied champions, heals by 10% every turn. This is a 4-piece set also. This was my favorite one, like I said before, and as I farmed one complete set that was good enough for me to place on my Osogard War Collar, I stopped farming this set. So it's not like I continually farm it and look for a better ones to replace the one that she currently has. I heard that Vogot is also a champion that would be good to have this set on. Any champion that soaks up a lot of damage, right? And that damage takes away from the amount of damage that is currently being dealt to your allied champions. You soak up the damage. So that's the set that this Guardian set goes on. It's good for clan boss. It's also good for Doom Tower content. I've seen it also in arena in general for tank champions also. So this is not a useless set. I'll put it on a scale of 8. That's where I'll rank this set currently right now. So far no set has hit 9 or 10 because they all have their downside. So the downside of this is that I can't use it on all my champions. I only use it on tanky champions, and once I have one good set on a tanky champion, I no longer need to farm this boss in the Doom Tower. All right, the second to the last one I have here is Fortitude. 40 plus resistance and 10% defense from Fortitude. This sets, I don't have a lot of it also. I've not been farming it much. I've even forgotten the boss that drops it. What's the name of the boss? Dreadhorn's plates. The Dreadhorn. Oh, now I know why I don't have a lot of it. It drops from Boomer the Dreadhorn, the boss that everybody hates the most in the game. You farm it once, you beat him, and you're done. You don't want to repeat that battle at all because you're most likely doing it on manual, or you're doing it with your one-man champion that beat Boomer. So I'm hoping that the next time I face Boomer, I'll have a full team that can auto it, hopefully, not have those single champion beating Boomer, and I don't want to farm 20 minutes, 30 minutes of Boomer. That's why I don't have this set. But the set is extremely useful. It has 40 plus resistance and 10% defense. If you have 3 sets of this, that is 6 pieces of it, your champion will be almost impossible to be debuffed because they'll have a lot of resistance. That is not all the resistance you need. Of course, you have resistance in your substats, in your banners and all that stuff. So but this set gives you a lot of resistance. It's an upgrade to the resistance artifacts we have in the game. The normal artifact, it's a huge upgrade because of that 10% defense right there. So that's what I think of it. It's an end game artifact, not a beginner level artifact, because even resistance as a set, I didn't farm it at all in the game. When I see it in the Dragon, I sell it. Oh, it doesn't drop for the Dragon, it drops from Ice Golem, And because we don't farm Ice Golem a lot of us don't have that resistance set. But this is a chance for you to get it. Well, it's an impossible chance because Boomer, the Dreadhorn, is impossible to beat, especially for newer players in the game. But if you're end game and you currently have a good set of champions that can beat Boomer, this set is worth farming because it gives you that 10% extra defense. So you find it being used a lot in Doom Tower hard because they farm it there and they put it on their Doom Tower champions. And you also find this set being used a lot in the arena, end game arena. I'm talking about platinum and higher stages because of where you have a lot of resistance and you don't want to be debuffed. But for general dungeon content, you don't really need this set if you're a new mid game or almost end game player. The last set right there is Lethal. I don't know if you can see it. Lethal. It has a crit rate 10%, ignore 25% of the enemy's defense. Now, whenever I see 25% ignore defense, I just think of Savage, and that's an upgrade to Savage set because of that extra 10% crit that is added to it. I did not rate Fortitude, right? I gave it an 8. Fortitude is 8. So Lethal, I'll put it on a scale of 10 right there. It's not a 9, this is a 10. This is the best set to farm in the game, hands down. Because of that 25% ignore defense right there and the extra 10% crit that is coming in. So the Savage set just gives a flat out 25% ignore defense, right? But this 10% crit is an addition, is an upgrade to that Savage set. So yes, I do have some Lethal that I've been farming for before because Dark Fae is a boss that can be farmed, unlike what's his name? Unlike Boomer, the Dreadhorn that cannot be farmed. You have to do it on manual. Dark Fae, once you do the manual run, you beat those first mirror interface that she does duplicates of your champions. Once you start beating the Dark Fae herself, you can put it on auto and just walk away. It will be done. So Dark Fae is a boss that I will be farming from now on because now I've rated this Lethal as the best one. Unfortunately, this is not the rotation for Dark Fae. So which set will you be farming in this rotation? Let me know in the comments below, because I feel like since there is no good one out there, that's why maybe I'm still farming what's the one that I was farming before? Fatal, which I don't even need. So remember, you're farming these Doom Tower stages, whether normal or hard, not just because you need the sets. Most times because when you don't see the set you need, you just farm it because a mission requires you to do 5 or 10, right? Another reason you should farm it is because it gives a lot of silver. Remember, any of this set that is rubbish that you sell, it gives a lot of silver. So let me find one that I can just craft right now and see how much silver I can get from it. As an example, even if it's a set that you will not need or it gives you a bad substat, that's a 5-star. I don't need the 5-star on my account anymore. It gives me bad substat. 50k silver right there. So remember, I spent how much to do it? 10k, and I got 50k back. That's 40k profit gained. So don't just farm this set because you need it. Sometimes when you don't see those bosses that you need, let's say you don't see the what's her name now, Dark Fae right now, farm other bosses that give you a set that you can sell for silver. So that's what I think about the Doom Tower hard bosses or normal bosses. It's hard to use any of these artifacts when you farm the Doom Tower normal. I'll tell you right now, for the noob to pro, when I farm that dragon or when it drops the Lethal, all I get is 4-star and 3-stars, and I sell all of them. That's still a useful way to get silver in the game. So it's not always all about using the artifact. Sometimes you just want to farm the boss, get the materials, forge it, and get the silver. Another reason why you should always farm those bosses is because of the forge gives a lot of points for CVC. It gives a lot of points for CVC. So that's something else you should also remember. So we don't like to farm it. We don't like the Doom Tower, but once you get the champions who can do it, don't ignore it. Spend that time in your daily missions time, do it and get it out of the way. All right, I'm done rambling about the Doom Tower. I just wanted to drop this light-hearted video for you guys on a Sunday. Happy Easter to you all out there. Before you click out the video, hit that like button if you like this video, and also subscribe to the channel if that's the first time you're seeing this face. Also, let me know below if Lethal is the best one you think my assessment right here on my rating is correct. I mean, so if you have alternative ones that you farm the most, also drop it in the comments below. Let me learn from you guys also if you're end game. I'll see you guys in the next Raid Shadow Legends video. Good night, guys.